If you are dreaming of becoming a cloud engineer in 2025, but feel unsure about where to start, which cloud provider to study and get certified at, and more importantly, how to get a job, let me tell you, you are not alone. But here's what I know for sure. If you want a high-paying, fulfilling career in tech without spending years chasing a college degree, piling up certifications, and endless technical skills, or staying stuck in general IT roles, cloud is the path. Back in 2017, I made a bold move from Brazil to Australia. I started out as a low-paid system administrator. Honestly, it was frustrating. Like I was working hard, but spinning my wheels, going nowhere fast. But everything changed the moment I decided to pivot in the cloud field with just one cloud certification. And from there, everything started to shift. Since becoming a cloud engineer, I've been able to buy a house here in Australia, earn my citizenship, and most importantly, gain the freedom to truly enjoy life with my family. Not just financial freedom, but freedom in my career, because the skills I've developed in the cloud are so in demand that no layoff or AI can replace me. And now I'm on a mission to help others achieve the same transformation. That's why I'm here today to share the ultimate 10 steps roadmap I would like to have if I were starting fresh right now. Step 1 is start by mastering IT fundamentals every cloud engineer needs. The biggest mistake people make is skipping over fundamentals and trying to jump straight into cloud platforms without understanding the basics. Because of this, they get confused since there are definitely many advanced topics out there that don't really matter if you're just starting out in the cloud. There are many ways to learn fundamentals, but I'm going to give you my favorite approach. Let's start with operating systems. Your job will often involve managing virtual machines, so you need to know how to use the command line to move through files, install software, and check performance. Manage users and permissions to keep systems secure, and monitor for issues when things go wrong. You also want to write basic bash scripts to automate repetitive tasks. It's not about being a coding master, just working smarter. Think of the operating system like the engine of the cloud. If you know how it works, you can drive faster, fix problems quicker, and build with more confidence. Next, you need to understand how data travels across systems. Focus on IP addressing, subnets, firewalls, DNS, and routing. This knowledge is essential when you're working with Azure virtual networks, setting up private endpoints, or fixing connectivity issues. You are not expected to be a software developer, but knowing how to automate tasks will save you hours. Start with PowerShell, especially for managing Azure resources. Then adding basic Python scripting for things like handling APIs, data, or file operations. The goal is to reduce manual work and make your setups repeatable. Every app relies on data. That's why you need to understand how to store, query, and organize it. Learn SQL for structured data and get familiar with NoSQL concepts. In Azure, you will work with SQL databases and Cosmos DB. Knowing how to choose the right one as how to interact with them is a key skill. Cloud computing runs on shared infrastructure, so it's crucial to know how virtual machines work, how they are provisioned, secured, and scaled. You also want to understand containers like Docker, which package applications with everything they need to run. Azure uses this for scalable and efficient deployments through services like container apps. Think of IT fundamentals as the foundation of a house. Without a solid foundation, the house will crumble under pressure. When you know the basics, troubleshooting Azure environments feels natural instead of overwhelming. Step 2 is mastering core Azure services. Once you choose your cloud provider, the next step is to master its core services. Many beginners get excited about advanced cloud topics and jump ahead, but they miss the core building blocks that support almost every cloud operation. To build a strong foundation in Azure, focus on mastering these four essential areas: compute, storage, networking, and security. Compute is where your applications run. Azure Virtual Machines are your cloud servers, powerful, scalable computers running your workloads. You also have Azure Functions, which let you run small pieces of code on demand without worrying about managing servers. These are great for automating tasks and building event-driven applications. Storage is where all your data lives. Azure Blob Storage is designed to store massive amounts of unstructured data, things like images, videos, backups, and logs. It's highly durable and scalable, so your data is safe and accessible anytime. Network connects everything securely in the cloud. Azure Virtual Network, or VNet, allows you to create isolated private networks, segment traffic with subnets, and control access through network security groups and firewalls. This ensures your services communicate safely and efficiently. Step 3 moves into the heart of cloud engineering, learning system design fundamentals. Many beginners think cloud engineering is just clicking around portals, the famous ClickOps, but it's really about designing systems that scale and perform well. The biggest mistake is not thinking about how components fit together, leading to slow or fragile applications. System design is where your thinking shifts from fixing issues to architecting solutions. It's about how to build systems that are fast, reliable, and scalable, especially when real users are involved. Here are 4 core systems design concepts every cloud engineer should know: load balancing, caching, database scaling, and microservices. Now, picture this. You've created an online learning platform for IT courses. In the beginning, only a handful of students use it, so a single server works just fine. But then your platform goes viral. Thousands of users log in at once to watch video lessons, take quizzes, and download resources. Suddenly, pages take forever to load. Videos buffer. Without load balancing, one servers get overwhelmed. Without caching, every video and quiz request hits the server repeatedly. And without microservices, a single issue, the quiz module, crashes the entire platform. System design fixes all of this, keeping your platform smooth, fast, and reliable as you grow. That's where load balancers, caching layers, and microservices come in. Keep things running smoothly even under massive demand. Step 4 is all about applying those system design principles to Azure cloud architecture. Many jump into Azure services without understanding the basics of how to build resilient, effective solutions. So I will share 5 key principles to guide your Azure architecture decisions so your projects are production ready. The 5 Azure architecture principles are operational excellence, security, reliability, performance efficiency, and cost optimization. Think of these principles like a recipe. Without following it, your dish might taste okay, but with it, you create a masterpiece that customers rave about it. The same applies to your Azure solutions. Step 5 is choosing a single cloud provider to specialize. When you spread yourself too thin, you stay in surface level learning mode. Real opportunities come when you develop depth and mastery. Pick one platform and commit. Your goal is to master the fundamentals and start thinking in that cloud's native language. Here on this channel, I always teach and recommend Microsoft Azure, which is the platform I'm currently working on my career, and I recommend focusing on Azure for 2 main reasons. First, Azure has outstanding customer support. If you run into issues or need help, you can open a support ticket and get assistance quickly. This is a huge advantage when you're stuck, whether it's a simple question or a major problem. One of the key skills I teach in my program, the Cloud Engineer Launchpad, is how to learn on demand. You can't know all the answers up front, but you do need to know where to find them. Sometimes that means calling Microsoft support and asking for help. Trust me, your company doesn't care how you solve the problem. They just need to trust you can get it done. So don't ever try to be a tech genius, but think like a consultant with a problem-solving mindset. Second, and this is a big one, there is a major talent gap. Everyone talks about AWS because it's the biggest cloud provider right now. But here's the thing, that demand also creates intense competition. With Azure, it's different. There are more open roles, but not enough professionals who specialize in it. That scarcity makes you more valuable and often better paid. So while most are looking at AWS, you can stand out by mastering Azure or even GCP. Step 6 is about taking control of your code and configurations with version control, a critical skill that separates novices from professionals. The biggest mistake is working on code or script without tracking changes, which leads to lost work and confusion. Version control is essential in real-world cloud engineering, and Git is the industry standard. I will share the best way to get started with Git so you avoid headaches and work confidently. Git tracks every change you make to your code or configuration files. Key actions are staging changes, committing them with messages, and pushing them to remote repositories like GitHub or Azure repos. This gives you the ability to roll back mistakes instantly and collaborate with others without conflicts. Imagine you wrote a script that configures a critical resource, but accidentally broke it. Without Git, you would have to start from scratch or hope you remember what changed. With Git, you simply revert to the last working version and fix the issue calmly. Step 7 is about cloud security foundations. Don't ever treat security as an afterthought. That's when costly breaches and unexpected downtime happen. I will show you foundational Azure security practices that protect your data and reputation from day one. Start with Azure's shared responsibility model, where Microsoft takes care of the physical infrastructure, the data centers, physical networking, and core platform services. But your responsibility is everything that runs on top of that: your virtual machines, applications, user identities, data, configurations, and access controls. If you deploy a web app, Microsoft handles the infrastructure. The servers are patched, secure, and running. But here's the catch. Everything above that layer is your responsibility. That means protecting your app from data leaks, ensuring users use strong passwords, and locking down your firewalls. To stay secure, always use role-based access control to apply least privilege, enable multi-factor authentication, encrypt data at rest and in transit, and monitor everything using Azure Security Center and Azure Monitor. At the core of it all is Azure Entra ID. It manages access, supports MFA, and integrates across your environment, giving you control over who can do what. There were times in my career where that was most of my job: reviewing access, turning permissions, tightening policies. Security isn't just about files, it's about managing trust at scale. And depending on your company, some of that trust may be overseen by a cybersecurity team or security architect. That's where collaboration becomes key. As a cloud engineer, you don't need to do it all alone. Reach out, ask, build relationships, working with the right people to keep systems resilient and secure. And that mindset, that is what sets top engineers apart. Step 8 is using cloud tools for automation and efficiency. If you want to stand out as a cloud engineer, you can't rely on clicking around the portal forever. Manual work is slow, error-prone, and doesn't scale. The engineers who get noticed are the ones who automate intelligently. There are two tools that will take your skills to the next level: infrastructure as a code and CI/CD pipelines. Let's start with infrastructure as a code. Instead of clicking to create a VM or a network, you write code to describe your infrastructure, then deploy in the same way every time in every environment. Most people go straight to Terraform, And that's a great choice. It works across multiple clouds, but if you are focused on Azure and you want to stand out, Azure Bicep is your secret weapon. It's a simpler, native language for deploying Azure resources, and hiring managers love it because it's fast, secure, and purpose-built for Azure. Now, pair that with CI/CD. Using Azure DevOps pipelines, you can automate building, testing, and deploying your code, so you deliver updates faster with fewer bugs. Think of like this. Terraform or Bicep is your blueprint. It defines what you want your infrastructure to look like. CI/CD pipelines are your factory assembly line. They turn your code into production-ready systems. When you use these tools together, you go from being just another engineer to someone who builds repeatable, scalable solutions. And that's exactly what high-performing teams and top-paying roles are looking for. Step 9 is building real projects. This is the step that separates learners from professionals. One of the biggest mistakes I see is people studying endlessly, certifications, tutorials, courses, but never actually building anything. In the Cloud Engineer Launchpad, I walk you through real-world projects I've actually delivered in my own career, because building these kinds of projects give you experience you can confidently put in your resume. And I know what some people are thinking. Oh, Luis, that sounds unfair. Can I really count that as an experience? So let's think about it. If you built a working solution, used different tools, solved a problem, you put your time and effort into make it work, why wouldn't that count as experience? That's what experience is. And employers are looking for committed problem solvers, not just IT guys who master theory. Of course, you can use platforms like Wiz Labs or Cloud Guru to simulate scenarios too. That's valid. But the key is getting your hands dirty, building, solving. Don't fall into the trap of passive learning. Real growth happens when you build, when you get your hands dirty, when you start solving real problems. That's how you build confidence, practical skills, and stories that you can actually share in interviews. Now I get it. It's easy to feel discouraged when you see jobs posts asking for 5+ years of experience. But here's the catch. That requirement is often just a filter to attract the best applicants. Most experienced engineers, they are not even available. In fact, I get at least 3 LinkedIn emails every week from recruiters offering cloud engineer roles start at $700 a day. And I just tell them my rate expectations, which is higher. At this point, it's almost become a funnel for me. Because when you focus on real-world skills and business value, you become the person companies compete for. And last for now, step 10 is positioning strategy. Don't wait until you are 100% ready or have mastered advanced tools like Kubernetes or stacked up countless certifications. While those things can signal expertise to the market, nothing is more powerful than expert positioning. What do I mean by that? Start by reframing your existing IT experience through a cloud lens. Think about moments in your career where you've touched cloud-related tasks, migrations, scripting, automation, provisioning, and highlight those in your resume. Focus on outcomes and the impact you made, not just technical buzzwords. Saying Kubernetes on your resume may be meaningless if you are not connecting it to a problem you solved or a result you delivered. Next, position yourself as an expert on LinkedIn. That means having a smiling good lighting photo. Write a headline and summary that reflect your ability to drive business value. Post insights about cloud trends, share takeaways from real projects, and contribute to your perspective. And important, remove the open to work banner. You don't want to blend in with thousands of desperate junior candidates. You want to stand out as someone who creates measurable results. That shift in mindset and identity alone can help you start attracting opportunities directly into your inbox. If you want more help with this, check out my $200,000 Cloud Career Playbook. The link is in the description. And I know this might feel like a lot for one video, but here's the truth. Mastering the essentials is what drives 8% of results. That's what companies actually need. But if you want a proven roadmap to build a high-paying, in-demand cloud career without wasting time jumping between courses, certifications, or low-level jobs, then click in the link in the description to book a strategy call with me and my team. We will show you exactly how the Cloud Engineer Launchpad can fit in your journey. See you in the next video.